Isn't it wonderful to allow protesting? No. Isn't it wonderful to allow? Isn't it wonderful to allow protesting? Isn't it wonderful to allow? Isn't it wonderful to allow protest? Isn't it wonderful to allow protesting? Isn't it wonderful to allow protest? Isn't it wonderful to allow? Isn't it wonderful to allow? Isn't it wonderful to allow protest? Isn't it wonderful to allow? Isn't it wonderful to allow? Isn't it wonderful to allow protest? Isn't it wonderful to allow? Isn't it wonderful to allow? Isn't it wonderful to allow protest? Isn't it wonderful to allow? Isn't it wonderful to allow? Isn't it wonderful to allow protest? Isn't it wonderful to allow? Isn't it wonderful to allow? Isn't it wonderful to allow protest? Isn't it wonderful to allow? Isn't it wonderful to allow? Isn't it wonderful to allow protest? Isn't it wonderful to allow? Is it wonderful to allow? Is it wonderful to allow protest? Is it wonderful to allow? Is it wonderful to allow? Is it wonderful to allow protest? Is it wonderful to allow? Is it wonderful to allow? Is it wonderful to allow protest? Is it wonderful to allow? Is it wonderful to allow? Is it wonderful to allow protest? Is it wonderful to allow? Is it wonderful to allow? Is it wonderful to allow protest? Is it wonderful to allow? Is it wonderful to allow? Is it wonderful to allow protest? Is it wonderful to allow? Is it wonderful to allow? Is it wonderful to allow protest? Is it wonderful to allow? Is it wonderful to allow? Is it wonderful to allow protest? Is it wonderful to allow? Is it wonderful to allow? Is it wonderful to allow protest? Is it wonderful to allow? Is it wonderful to allow? Is it wonderful to allow protest? Is it wonderful to allow? Is it wonderful to allow? Is it wonderful to allow protest? Is it wonderful to allow? Is it wonderful to allow? Is it wonderful to allow protest? Is it wonderful to allow? Is it wonderful to allow? Is it wonderful to allow protest? Is it wonderful to allow?
Extra sharp. That's what I eat.
Is it wonderful to allow? Is it wonderful to allow? Is it wonderful to allow protest? Is it wonderful to allow? Is it wonderful to allow? And then they have cans of soup. Is it wonderful to allow protest? Soup. Is it wonderful? And they throw the cans of soup. Is it wonderful? That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick; it's too heavy. Is it wonderful? But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that. And then when they get caught, they say, "No, this is soup for my family." They're so innocent. This is soup for my family. Is it wonderful to allow? It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, "No, this is just soup for my family." And then the media says, "This is just soup." These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people. And then they have cans of soup. Is it wonderful to allow? Is it wonderful? And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick; it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that.
Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting "pigs in a blanket," talking about police. Pigs, pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon.
And they lay it on the ground.
The first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting "pigs in a blanket," talking about police. Pigs, pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon.
Extra sharp. That's what I eat.
The first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting "pigs in a blanket," talking about police. Pigs, pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting "pigs in a blanket," talking about police. Pigs, pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting "pigs in a blanket," talking about police. Pigs, pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting "pigs in a blanket,"
seriously,
talking
hot
about
sauce. I've been
police. Pigs, talking about our police.
A lot of hot
Pigs
sauce.
in a blanket, fry them
Raw peppers
like bacon.
and hot sauce.
Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting "pigs in a blanket," talking about police. Pigs, pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting "pigs in a blanket," talking about police. Pigs, pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting "pigs in a blanket," talking about police. Pigs, pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them
Extra sharp. That's what I eat.
the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter,
extra sharp.
they were chanting
That's what
pigs in a blanket, talking about
I
police.
eat
Pigs,
extra
pigs,
sharp.
talking about our
That's what I
police.
eat.
Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. Well, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. Well, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. Well, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. Well, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. Well, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. Well, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. Well, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. Well, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. Well, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. Well, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. Well, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. Well, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon.
And then they have cans of soup. Wonderful to allow protest. Isn't it wonderful to allow protest? And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick. It's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup for my family. They're so innocent. This is soup for my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over.
Lying dog-faced pony soldier. You said you were, but you're a lying dog-faced pony soldier. 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 Lying dog-faced pony soldier. You said lying dog-faced pony soldier. You said you were, but you're now you got to be honest. I'm going to be honest with you. Lying dog-faced pony soldier. Lying dog-faced pony soldier.
Innocent people.
They weren't coming because they couldn't get in. Once they think they can get in, they're coming, and they are coming at levels that you haven't even seen yet.
Sam, if I could just get this sentence out. We can talk about Jimmy Dore can go and kill 15 kids tomorrow, and I still believe in force the vote. Sam, if I could just get this sentence out. We can talk about Jimmy Dore can go and kill 15 kids tomorrow, and I still believe in force the vote.
I eat extra sharp. That's what I eat.
Watch Hillary examine the terrain. Watch a campaign with the man Tim Kaine. Tim Kaine in the membrane. Tim Kaine in the brain.
In case you don't know, and you haven't seen the latest polls, the American people hold the President of the United States in contempt They hold this institution in contempt. They hold the Republican Party in contempt. They hold the Democratic Party in contempt. They think that maybe, given all of the crises facing this country, it's about time that there was some bold leadership here and that this institution made some hard choices.
Hello, users, and welcome to another episodic in Stylation and Stylone. Can I get a large YouTube show with an extra bit? You know, just some extra shit today. That's what we're getting today. We're getting some extra shit. I got a lot to discuss, motherfucker. I don't know why I just called you, the viewer, a motherfucker. You are not a motherfucker. Actually, you might be a motherfucker. It's very possible. There's a dog behind me. Max! He's dead. Folks, the doggy is dead. Alright, so we got a goddamn motherfucking goddamn. We got a goddamn son of a bitch and damn. What's on my shirt? It must be a mustard stain. I think it's a mustard stain. God damn. Anyway, I'm sorry, I had to. I'm celebrating this morning because I have some good news, folks. I've got some really good news. I'm gonna drink some coffee. Please bear with me. I drank alcohol last night. Some would say I have a little bit of a problem. Some would say that. There are a very select few group. There's a group of people that would say that I have a problem. I am not among that group of people. I think that actually, I am. I'm going to announce I have an alcohol problem. I am not drinking enough alcohol. That's my problem. But, so yesterday I got a little. And so this morning I'm trying to balance myself. The Social Lubricante. You will be on it, though? On what? Wait, I tried to get your video on a Twitch stream yesterday. Poly People. But I think Chuds ruined it, then fell asleep. Got a goddamn show. Here in the city manager was booted on his arse last night. I've got a little bit to say about that, but I'm not going to do a segment, on it. But I don't like the city manager. He's done a lot of things that I found really problematic. That being said, his termination was very bizarre because all of the city council was not present. So it was like a bizarre kind of like under the cloak of shadow kind of a thing. And so that I do have a problem with. And also it depends on who's going to replace him. Like Eddie Buffalo's going to replace him. Eddie Buffalo's got like 15 jobs. That motherfucker's hustling. And I am going to talk about Eddie Buffalo soon. But I'm hearing like a ring every time I speak. Hello? Anyone there? Is it in here? Is it? Hello? Hello? Yo, I might be on drugs, folks. But anyway, let me turn this off real quick. The black robe. and the Black Shield. I remember when I first heard that. Like, go back. If you haven't seen the Trump call stream that I did, I was on my ass on some, like, tincture or something. And I remember listening to this tidbit of audiographic experience, and I died instantly.
Early in the morning, they went to the table with the black robe, the black shield, and they pulled out the votes.
The black robe. Like, when I think of that, I think about, like, a cult, right? I think about, like, you know, those motherfuckers in Resident Evil 4, right? I think about, like, you know, they've got candles, right? They've got, like, a black robe that, like, is dangling on the floor behind them, right? I think they're chanting, you know, like, they're doing something, and then one of them takes out the black shield, right? Like, they hand it, like, you know, the black shield, like, they're crowd surfing or whatever. They bring the black shield up, and then they, like, do, like, a blood ritual, like it's Naruto, on the black shield, and then they pull out the votes from, like, a hyperdimensional realm. Like, I really, like, again, I cannot underscore.
Early in the morning, they went to the table with the black robe, the black shield, and they pulled out the votes. Those votes were put there.
I fucking can't with the black robe and the black shield. So go back and watch my show from, like, January 4th or 5th, whenever that was. That was, like, right before the insurrection. So I thought that was going to be, like, big. I thought he was going to get impeached for it. I thought it was going to be huge. And then the next day, the insurrection. So it's pretty funny. Maury S. Vivir, that's correct. I will be doing Resident Evil 4 this month for the Spook 5 Kilar. Folks, I want to talk about this. And I'm going to probably talk about this at the end of the stream as well. But today, that is right, today is October 1st. I'm hearing that ringing again. Hello? Hello? Now it's without the headset. Anyway, there's a ringing going on. There's like a stinging, like a ringing, you know. Anyway, so today, October 1st, I will be starting the Spook 5 Kilar. This is the 5th annual horror marathon on my channel. I'll be doing some horror movie reviews. That's gonna happen. And I'm gonna be doing some extra video game streams. And we're gonna start the show. We're gonna start this program with a PlayStation game, folks. I'm gonna try to look at the bottom of the screen with a PlayStation game. As you can see, I have a PlayStation game at the bottom of the screen. Does anyone know what it is? Anyone? Let me show. Here, hold up. Got a, you know, you can see, if you flip this upside down, produced by Midway. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, that's right, folks. Muppet Monster Adventure is going to be the first game I'm going to play for the Spook 5 Kilar. I'm going to be starting the stream, I think. The thing about this is that, you know, doing the protest every day, I don't know when I'm going to start the stream. But I'll start the stream either before or after the protest. So Muppet Monster Adventure, this is a classic game. I'm going to be doing a blank save file. I'm not going to be doing New Game Plus. I'm going to be doing a blank save file. And I'm going to try and 100% the game. It should take a couple of play sessions, though. So this is going to be the first game I'm going to be playing on the Spook 5 Kilar, so tune into the live stream. Now, obviously, this goes without saying, a lot of people do not like watching me play video games. That being said, if you want to make it fun, I will answer any questions you have. You know, if you want to talk about my favorite pizza toppings or anything like that. I'll do a Q&A, so if you want to watch, also, if you want to, like, you know, ask me questions on news or whatever, I'm down. Some in the chat. Yeah, some in the chat are asking for the PAL version to be played. I wonder who those members are. The members of the chat room that would ask for such a thing. But those members are not members of the group of people that get to decide what version I play on. unfortunately. But again, reminder, the PAL version can't be 100%ed. There's the glitched up shit. She wears a spooky costume every day to the protest. You know what? I'm going to write that down. I'm going to write that down. That's actually a really good idea. That's a really good fucking idea. Anyway, let's get on with the goddamn, folks. I would love to get on with the goddamn, no less. Let's get it. Okay. We're getting it. It's being got. Yesterday was day 163 of protests in the city of Elizabeth City and the county of Pasquotank County, North Carolina, over the police shooting of Andrew Brown Jr. that took place a long time ago now. I think it's over 5 months. I mean, we've been out here for quite a long time. But yesterday we had a pretty good march. More people are showing up. People are starting to come back out. The weather's getting cooler, etc. It's me. That's me in the background. I don't normally wear jeans, so get a look at it while you can. But yesterday, also earlier in the day, was court. We had court. There were 12 of us that were persecuted, targeted by the Pasquotank County Sheriff's Department. And so now that the court case is over, I'm going to explain what happened. And so that's happening. So I've been a little bit hush-hush about this because it's an active court case. That's what you're supposed to do. Keep them guessing what's going on, right? But now the case has been dismissed. So about 2.5 months ago, a group of protesters decided to do a sidewalk demonstration. And This was back when we were doing daily marches in the street, but some folks decided to do a sidewalk demonstration at nighttime, and during that demonstration, there were people caught on camera talking, like heckling the protest, and some people were caught on camera flashing white power symbols, and so people quickly found out who they were, and it turns out they worked for a healthcare company. And people did not like the idea of a healthcare worker being a white supremacist in a city that is half African American. And so people called and asked for them to be terminated. I don't actually know if they were actually fired. But as a result, right-wingers were upset. They were very upset by that in Pasquotank County. And what they did was they printed a list of names in one of their Facebook groups. They printed a list of names of anyone that they found on Facebook that was participating in the Andrew Brown protests. So, in that Facebook group, they, posted the list of names. I was on the list of names, and so were a bunch of other people. A lot of the other people that were not even protesting. A lot of the people that were involved in this whole thing had not come out to a single day of protesting. And so it was just basically a list of mutual friends of mutual friends of mutual friends of people that use the hashtag on Facebook because boomers on Facebook are stupid. And so now people replied to these things with a lot of posts. And one of the posts said, "Let's get them all fired instead." Now, these posts were screenshotted by someone on a cell phone. Now, as we all know, cell phones are notorious for having small screens. I just unplugged my cell phone. But as you can see, this is my cell phone. It has a small screen. And so as a result, when people take screenshots of their cell phone, there is a feature called scroll capture, but most people don't know how to use it because they're stupid. No offense. I'm not trying. You know who you are. I understand. It's all good. I'm just saying there is a feature called scroll capture. Look into it. I love you, though. But anyway, so some people took screenshots, and in these screenshots, there were multiple screenshots that were taking place, just to tell everyone that these people are talking about us. And one of the screenshots had the post, "Let's get them fired instead," cropped out of the image. So it said, "Let's get them." And so now, again, these screenshots, the whole thread, to my understanding, was screenshotted, but through like a game of telephone, people sending things whenever. One of the screenshots really was the one that made it to the group of protesters and caused them to panic, and that's the one with the cropped out, "let's get them." So people thought that that was a death threat. People interpreted it that way. And so everyone that was on the list was contacted by a certain individual, and I will not name their name at this point, but they contacted everyone and sent them the one screenshot instead of all of the screenshots. So I myself was contacted as I was on the list, and I was also requested to film the entire interaction. And so we caught the entire interaction with filing this police report on tape, and that was basically exculpatory evidence for us, but that we didn't even get to the point where we needed to use it. But either way, individual one, as I will refer to her as, sent just the one screenshot, the cropped one, to everyone and caused them to panic. Now, I'm not saying that there was any intent there. I'm just saying that's what happened. That's the facts of the matter. So they sent everyone, including myself, the one screenshot, and we all made a group time to go file a police report. So we originally went to the Elizabeth City Police Department, and what we did was we told them the whole situation, and they said that it's not enough, it's not clear enough language for them to investigate. They don't care. That being said, they told us to go try the county sheriff's department because some of these people posting in the Facebook group are from the county and not the city. And so the Elizabeth City Police Department, under the head leadership of Eddie Buffalo, which has been now nominated to the cabinet of the governor of North Carolina, a disgusting move, fuck Roy Cooper, but I'm going to get into that later. Basically, they told us to fuck off and go to the sheriff's department. The sheriff department recently, at that time, was posting a lot of press releases basically saying they don't care about protests. They're going to stop providing protection to protesters in the marching in the streets. They're going to stop covering the protests. They're going to pretend that the protests don't exist. And so they've been doing a lot of public press releases at that time. And so what they did was they decided to then also, they said if anyone needed anything, like if there was any protest-related injury or if there's any attacks or anything, that they would investigate it or whatever. And they had also spent the previous 2 months at that time basically telling us if there's anything that actually happens to let them know. So the people decided, all right, the Elizabeth City Police told us to fuck off, so we went to the sheriff's department at their behest and filed a complaint. Now, we did not file an official report. That is not what occurred. At least that was not what occurred, beknownst to the people involved. A lot of these people that filed a complaint did not know that they were filing a report. They were just saying, hey, there's something going on. We thought you should know. So what happened was we entered the lobby. Now, again, I have this whole thing on video. I will not be posting the video publicly because it includes a lot of people's private details, and I'm not about that. I don't want to, publish people's personal information. That being said, again, I did record the entire interaction so that if the police did lie about it later, we could destroy them with facts and logic. Every single interaction I have with a cop is recorded. Yes, even the cop who told me not to record them the other day. Don't worry, though, I didn't publish it, but I do have it for my own personal use because you can't trust police officers. They will always lie, and they will always fuck you over. And so I had the foresight to record the interaction. Now, if the interaction was not recorded, we might have been in trouble. But either way, so basically, we told them, we printed out a screenshot, we being someone that's not me, printed out the screenshot that was handed to everyone. Again, the one cropped screenshot that the one individual decided to send instead of all the screenshots, but, that's neither here nor there. They printed that out and handed it to police and said that we felt threatened. Now, this Facebook group is some right-wing news Facebook group. I don't know what's going on with that. I, to be honest with you, don't know how to use Facebook. I don't know what the Facebook group is. I am not involved in the Facebook group. But the people in this Facebook group were later subpoenaed, and we'll get into that later, that made these comments. Some of them post on my YouTube channel. Hi, Mike. How's it going? You forgot to show up in court yesterday. But either way, so people sent them the screenshot, and basically they asked us for our names and then said, we're going to look into it. And there's some other details that don't need to be public. But, again, they said that they would look into it. So, they looked into it. And then a couple days later, the Pasquotank County Sheriff's Department published a document on their Facebook page, which is very unusual. They usually do press releases of this nature, but they usually do not publish them to their Facebook page. And so they published a press release to the Facebook page saying that they had filed criminal summonses against people for filing a false police report. So actually, I've got mine right here, and I want to read the language. This is the document that they gave to me. The sheriff deputies, Terry Meads and J.J. Daniels, and there was some other stupid bitch. They came to all of our houses. 3 sheriff deputies, normally when serving a criminal summons, which is something that barely ever happens because normally people get arrested when they break the law. But normally they have 1, sometimes on a very rare occasion, 2 sheriff deputies serve these, essentially warrants. This time we had 3, and they ran around town, and basically what they did was they served us. Now, I had known that they were doing this, so I waited for them on the porch. But this is for violating the specific law. Let me see which one. False report to police station. Now again, we were not under the impression we were even making a report. We basically said, hey, you told us to report, let you know anything. We didn't know we were filing an official report. Now again, a lot of the people involved with this criminal summons had never done anything related to the cops. They'd never called the cops. Some of them had never even been out to a protest. A lot of them, actually. I think a majority of them never actually really came to the protest, maybe a couple of times. And so now, also, yeah, the other one is, okay. So let me read this to you. I, the undersigned, find that there is problematic cause to believe that on or about the date of the offense, blah, blah, blah. You unlawfully and willfully did make to a law enforcement agency, Deputy T. Meads with Pasquotank County Sheriff's Department, a misleading report. Right now, again, the key words here are unlawfully and willfully in this criminal summons. Right? Under the, blah, 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 that they had been harassed and threatened on social media. Now, the harassment is factual. Them posting a list of names of people involved on Facebook that are involved with the protest, that is objectively harassment. But threats are, again, that's under, you could think about that. Now, again, one person who had access to the entire Facebook post did propagate a, cropped screenshot in none of the other ones. But is that still willfully? It's very possible that they just felt threatened and just posted the one that they found was most important in that instance. That's very possible. What's also possible is they just didn't, factor in that people would need or care. I don't know. I can't analyze their intent because I am not them. But either way, they only posted one screenshot to the rest of us. So all of the rest of us that were served with this only had the one screenshot to go off of. One of us that was served with this did have the full context, but did not share that with the rest of us. But either way, the key phrase here is willfully, right? And then the rest just describes what I described. So now again, this was signed off by the way, by Donna L. Dees, a magistrate who probably cashed in a favor or had a favor cashed in, stupid, corrupt bitch. But either way, it's bullshit. So basically, when you ask someone to investigate, the idea is they would investigate and tell you what they found. And they say, all right, we investigated. We know you don't have access to this Facebook page. We found that was just a cropped screenshot. There was actually more. It said that they just want to get you fired. That is objectively harassment. That is also objectively a threat. It's not a death threat or a threat of physical violence, but it is in fact a threat, but that's neither here nor there. So what they did instead was, without calling us back, without saying, hi, by the way, we found out your investigation, there, it's no real big deal. They just came to our houses and served us with an unusually large amount of sheriff deputies doing the serving. And so there's a lot more detail, but that basically, we then got a court date that was 2 weeks after the serving. And we showed up, we had a lawyer, and we were ready to go to trial. The state asked for a continuance because they didn't know that we were so ready. They didn't know we would be organized. And so they did not have their chickens in order at that current moment. So they decided to continue the case until yesterday, about 2.5 months later. So about earlier in the week, they subpoenaed the people that were involved in this Facebook group. They're irrelevant. They have nothing to do with the case. The case was whether or not we willfully, or quote, with intent, whether or not we willfully cropped out that screenshot and gave them a misleading report. Now, it's very possible that individual one willfully did that. I don't know. I don't know what was going on in their head. I have no idea what their deal is. But the rest of us only got one screenshot. So it is impossible for the rest of us to have even remotely come close to willfully deceiving the police because we didn't have the full information. Now, one of the people may very well have willfully done it. It's impossible to prove that, but they may very well have. But the rest of us, it is impossible. It is just factually impossible. It's like, were you on Mars yesterday? Just not going to happen. So, man, I'm just scrolling through here. But either way, so basically what happened was we were going to use the video that showed them, that showed us going to the police station to file, a complaint or, ask them to investigate it. And basically we would show them that we only had access to this one screenshot, blah, blah, blah. But we didn't even get to that part because earlier this week they subpoenaed the people involved with the Facebook group and they didn't show up in court. So what we did was we waited there all day, and then when they finally got to our case, they called up the subpoenaed witnesses and they weren't there. They weren't there. They forgot. Who knows what was going on, but they forgot. They just didn't show up. They also, that's violating the law. So Mike Albertson and Alice Gandy, you might have some criminal stuff to deal with soon because you were found in contempt of court. You didn't show up to a subpoena that is a legally binding contract. So, but is the state going to enforce that? Of course not, because they enforce things, with a double standard. They intimidate protesters. They try to attack protesters. They illegally arrest protesters. They threaten protesters. But anyone making threats against protesters, they're fine. They're chill. But either way, in my opinion, lock them up. By the way, you can get 6 months in jail for failing to show up to a court appearance when you get subpoenaed. But either way, so the district attorney or assistant district attorney, it wasn't Andrew Womble, is, somewhere down the chain, looked like they were extremely embarrassed. They flustered. They said that they looked stupid. They said that, they think the case is stupid and should be thrown out, but, they're not going to argue. Like, they literally said that we look stupid. The sheriff deputy, Meads, also, by the way, fun fact, she got her nipples pierced at some point in between filing these criminal summonses and this court date. And how do we know that? Well, I'm just saying it's a really fun fact. But anyway, so she was sitting there basically looking like a dumb motherfucker, right? She looked embarrassed. She did this, she looked like she was fucking stupid. And so that's fun. I love that. Now, I want to talk about this. So the court, the judge threw it out because it was ridiculous and they didn't have their shit together. Neither of their witnesses showed up and they looked stupid. But I want to let you all know, yes, the sheriff's department fumbled. Yes, they could have gone even further. We would have won the case because we had the video. But we could, I would have liked to show them the video. That would have been fun to see their reaction to them lying and perjuring themselves. I would have loved to see that. But either way, this was a win for the sheriff's department because they successfully intimidated people and caused undue stress to people's lives. People had ongoing criminal charges against them that affected them for these 3 months. That affected their interactions with background checks. That affected their stress levels, having to hire a lawyer, having to have lawyer calls, having to go to court multiple times. That affects people's mental state. It scares some people away from doing more protest-related activities. It, scares people away from even calling the police. It scares people away from even calling the police, even if they need something. Which, now, again, I disagree with even talking to police in the first place. That being said, if people are going to talk to the police, I'm going to film it because I care about other people. And I care about myself, and I don't trust police. But again, this did cause a lot of anguish for a lot of people. And that is a win for the sheriff's department because for them, it cost $0. For them, it was just, all right, let's just do this. Let's just annoy the fuck out of these people, and then maybe they'll stop protesting. Now, I want to say, it didn't make me stop protesting. I went out there and have not missed a single day since these, proceedings were underway. Because I am not easily intimidated by police. I understood the entire time that the police were doing this to intimidate me, and I'm not going to let a bitch-ass cop intimidate me. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself, Meads. I don't give a shit about you or your little cringe crew. And Tommy Wooten, you can suck my goddamn dick, bitch. That being said, again, it does cause intimidation, and that is the role, that is the goal in these false charges. The Elizabeth City Police Department, also under the leadership of Eddie Buffalo, did the same thing when they illegally arrested protesters on the sidewalk, many times when they threatened to tase protesters, when they let an angry Confederate soldier jump through and run down 3 protesters, hitting and hurting 3 protesters that are still dealing with those injuries. The Elizabeth City Police Department is not in any capacity innocent at all. They are also garbage. All the cops in Elizabeth City are bastards. They're shit. They're fucking evil, right? And the ones that claim that they aren't are pussies. They're beta male bitches that are afraid to speak out against their coworkers. Yes, I'm talking to you, the cop who stopped me and said you loved my show the other week. You're a beta male. I'm sorry. Quit your job, or fucking, maybe if you want, you can leak me some information. Give me some info and I'll publish it for you. Do something good for once, but I'm sorry. I don't like you. I'm just saying, I'm glad you love my show, but whatever. But again, the thing here is intimidation. They successfully intimidated a lot of people, and they reduced the numbers of protests partially. And they basically made a big PR thing about, oh, look, we're going after protesters. And the right wing said, oh, they're tough on crime. They're tough. We're going to get those rioters and looters, even though there was no rioting and no looting in Elizabeth City. 164 days today, and there was not a single broken window, not a single stolen object, no rioting, no looting. But the right wing loves to call us rioters and looters, right? Uncivilized savages. And so they basically got what they wanted. They think Tommy Wooten's tough on crime. They think he's tough on protesters. They think he's cracking down on the black people. And that's what they wanted. They accomplished all of their goals. Right? Because it was never about finding us guilty. It was about the positive PR for them and making our lives more stressful. And so y'all need to understand, cops are bastards. All cops are bastards. There's not a single exception, because they're all shit. If your coworker was breaking the law and hurting innocent people fighting for justice and you didn't do anything about it, I'm sorry. You're a loser, you're a coward, and go fuck yourself. And go fuck yourself to the Pasquotank County Sheriff's Department. Go fuck yourself to the Elizabeth City Police Department. Y'all are a bunch of bastards. And try again. Try me. Try me. I'm waiting. So anyway, it's a little bit of a long segment, but what are you going to do? How's everyone doing? I kind of, I'm pretty blasted right now, so I was in my own world during that whole thing. So let me read the chat. "22 minutes in, let's start the show." I love it. I love it. If you want to be the scariest thing, dress as a cop and run around a gun, acting threatening for no reason. There you go. That'd scare the shit out of people, because cops are fucking evil thugs. Imagine thinking it matters which was said is still a coordinated effort to ruin lives for merely protesting. And again, the thing about it that was really bizarre is most of the people involved with this court case were not protesters. They were just people that were in the list because they posted a hashtag on Facebook at some point. Like, I'm sorry, posting a hashtag on Facebook is not protesting. Like, I'm glad that you're supportive, absolutely, and I'm not trying to attack you or anything. I'm just saying, like, for right-wingers to think that they're protesters because they just posted a hashtag, I mean, that's how stupid the right wing is. They think, oh, this person said hashtag no justice, no peace on Facebook. They're an evil rioter. Huh? Eddie Buffalo literally turned a blind eye to a car driving through the protesters. I will cover that, yes. That is some. I covered that already, obviously, when it happened. But I'm going to talk about that some more later. I couldn't record my beating. I am so sorry about that, Chokey. I have been attacked by cops many times, and it's one of the main reasons why I have an always record the police ideology. There is not a single exception. Every police interaction I've had in the last, every single police interaction I've had during these entire protests have all been recorded. Meads is a rich family in the Pasquotank County area. One of, the wealthy white families that own a lot of land here in North Carolina. I wonder where they got that land from. You're telling me there's a giant population of a single family that has a fuckload of, intergenerational wealth in North Carolina, and they own a lot of land? Huh. Wow. I wonder where that came from. But either way, they've spawned a lot of cretins. I know that I don't know what the direct relationship is between. There's Jonathan Meads on the county commission. There's Daniel Meads, a snuff film director and murderer of Andrew Brown, and there's Terry Meads, the one that got her nipples pierced and decided to file bogus charges against us. I don't know what their relation is. But they're all different people. So. Adding willfully really fucked them. Well, that's the law. The law that they cited with the false police report law has intent written into the law. So that was just a copy and paste of what the law the law violation was. So, but it's imagine if I called the cops hey, I heard a loud noise outside. I think someone's gonna break in, and then it turns out that it was just a dog or a cat or something scratching the window. Is that filing a false police report? Because, I thought someone was going to break in. That's filing a false police report now? No, it's not. No, it's not. They're stupid. Humiliating cops gives me life. It kept me going. Hell yes. The argument, I have no idea what subpoenaing the people in the Facebook group has to do with anything. I literally have no idea what they could have contributed. Because what they had to prove was intent to file a false police report. That would have to be proven by finding out a secret post that we made that said, haha, let's crop the screenshot. Now again, individual one very well could have done that. They had access to the entire chat message, and they chose, for whatever reason, I don't know what the reason is, but they chose to send just one screenshot to the rest of us. I don't know why. I have no idea why they would do that. Chances are, they just thought that it was the most relevant one, and they didn't need to spam people with a bunch of shit. That's very possible. But for the rest of us, it's impossible to prove intent. But Daniel Johnson, holy shit. But yeah, this is what's happened over the last couple of months. Obviously, I didn't want to release the fact that I had the video the whole time. And I didn't want to talk about the details because, I am a public person. And so as a result, I wanted to respect the privacy of other people. But But yeah, these cops in Pasquotank are dumb as hell. But at the end of the day, again, it wasn't about proving intent. It wasn't about convicting us. It wasn't about finding us guilty. It was about wasting people's time, wasting people's energy, wasting people's money. But we had a great attorney that did it for free at no cost to us, Mr. Johnny Finch in Elizabeth City. Shout out to that motherfucker. He's awesome. They didn't expect us to be organized in that fashion. And their goal was to break up the protest movement. Their goal was to intimidate people. And those goals were accomplished in a lot of ways. So I want to be very clear that yes, they look stupid, but you need to understand why they do these things. And they do these things to intimidate people. They do these things to make people afraid. They do these things to waste people's time, money, and energy because they don't have to hire a lawyer. They don't have to look for lawyers. They don't have to like call their friends and family to see if anyone knows a lawyer. They don't, you know. So that's the goal of this shit. That's the real material goal of these things. And so that's enough of the Q&A, I guess. I didn't, intend to do a Q&A, or it's not even a Q&A, I was just reading the chat. So let's get into some other news. Let's talk about Buffalo now while we're on topic. Okay, give me a check. All right. Choky, 10, is that euros, pounds? Just kidding. I know the difference. I'm not that stupid. Thank you for the 10 pounds. Appreciate it. Solidarity with you all. Folks, I would like to remind y'all, Muppet Monster Adventure, I will be playing for probably at least 2 hours later today. I'll probably do it. Okay, let me ask y'all a question. Would y'all be more likely to watch a stream in between the next 8 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, right? Or in between 8 hours and 11 hours from now? No, Daniel Johnson, I'm doing a live show right now. Do y'all want this sooner or later? I'm asking the chat. Because I know there's a lot of European viewers. So, maybe doing it sooner would be better for y'all. Or maybe you want to, sleep and wake up or something. Because the protest today is at 6. As it is every weekday. So, it would either have to be before the protest or after the protest. In fact, I'm going to do a poll. Let's do a poll. All right, folks. So, Governor Roy Cooper decided a couple days ago, this is on the official Twitter page of the governor, Governor Cooper has appointed Eddie Buffalo's Department of Public Safety Secretary. Eddie Buffalo's experience, vision, leadership, management skills, and strong law enforcement credentials make him ready for this critically important role. So I'm going to read this article from Whiten, and then I'm going to talk to you about why Eddie Buffalo is a piece of fucking dog shit. So, let's read. The chief of an Eastern Carolina police department will be the next head of State Department of Public Safety. Eddie Buffalo was appointed Tuesday. Buffalo has been police chief in Elizabeth City since 2012, and before that was Enfield's chief. So he just shops around. So, I'll be chief over there. Maybe I'll go over there. Maybe I'll go over there. He also has experience with several sheriff offices as a state correctional officer and with the North Carolina National Guard. I am humbled by the opportunity given to me by Governor Cooper, said Buffalo. Blah, blah, blah. Buffalo replaces Eric Hooks, who became deputy administrator. He led the department through months of protesting following the shooting death of Andrew Brown by Pasquotank County Sheriff deputies. How did he do during that? Reminder, by the way, he's currently he's got like 3 roles, 2 roles. I think he's city manager and he's like city attorney. He's got like, he's trying to like juggle. He's got like 5 jobs right now. But I have, as someone who attended every single protest demonstration since the Pasquotank County Sheriff's Office decided to murder Andrew Brown, I know exactly how Elizabeth City Police handled the protest. They handled it horribly. And I've got a couple of examples here. So, I have footage of Eddie Buffalo himself. Eddie Buffalo was across the street when this video was shot. This was day 107 on August 5th, 2021. Eddie Buffalo was, you see this fire hydrant? He was on the opposite side of the street. He was watching our march through the street when this happened. And I want y'all to watch this video. This is someone hitting into a protester and driving away in front of Eddie Buffalo. And I filmed an entire encounter with him. We did a little bit of an impromptu presser. And maybe I'll air that a little bit later. Someone remind me. Maybe I'll post that raw footage. But watch this video. The Jeep here basically hits this man, like, you know, the left half of his body. Now, again, Eddie Buffalo was right over here. I don't think I have him on film in this clip, but he was right across the street, right outside of here. This is Eddie Buffalo right here, standing right here. You can tell by the way, the weird way his legs look. I'm not, trying to be. But either way, you can tell he's right here. He was watching the whole thing. He did nothing. In fact, he told us not to file a report. He watched a car drive into a protester, and literally, he watched it and did nothing. Earlier in the protests, we had a situation where this car was being blocked by an Elizabeth City police officer at a protest, in a permitted protest, where a permit was signed and authorized by the city. These individuals smashed in to protesters. As you can tell, I got one of them on video. And so the Elizabeth City Police Department, Officer Parr, this guy, did nothing about it. In fact, he went to go protect the Confederates. They literally have Confederate iconography all over their Facebook page, right? So when I call them Confederates, I'm not being facetious. They identify as Confederates. This guy let them do it and then walked over and then protected the people that had just driven through a crowd. This guy faced no disciplinary action. Eddie Buffalo was absent. He did no press conference. Eddie Buffalo was absent at every single protest. He didn't appear once. The guy is trash. And I have a lot of other instances of police ineptitude throughout these protests, and maybe I'll make a compilation of that at some point. But these are the two most glaring problems. A third one is that he demanded and begged the mayor to bring in riot cops in the first week of protests, lying about threats, lying about violence to bring in riot cops to beat the shit out of elderly pastors and preachers. Huh? That was Eddie Buffalo. He wasted $500,000 of the state's emergency funds on superfluous riot cops that beat the shit out of elderly preachers. And had live guns, pointing actual guns at protesters. Not tear gas, not rubber bullets, but actual handguns were pointed at protesters by these untrained riot cops. Eddie Buffalo is garbage. Roy Cooper is garbage. Fuck them both, all straight to hell. Fuck Josh Stein, too. These motherfuckers, Roy Cooper and Josh Stein, came to Elizabeth City and said that they were going to do things to help us. They did nothing, and then they promote our abusers. Go fuck yourselves. Go fuck yourselves. So anyway, that's North... Man, I have been doing an hour just on Elizabeth City. Then again, it was some pretty breaking news, but... There's so much going on. There's dogs barking and there's people talking outside. I'm, like, having a sensory overload right now. Like, Lord have motherfucking mercy. Okay, let me look at the poll. After the protest by 74%. Okay, so... If I do it after the protest, that would mean I would probably start it, maybe 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So, in 8.5 hours from now, is that okay? For the live stream? 8.5 hours from now? Euros BTFO? Sorry about that. This is a democracy in this chat. I'm going to guess that this will take probably 3 streaming sessions for me to get through 100% because it's been a couple years since I've done it. Probably 3. How long am I going to stream for? Probably 2 hours minimum, I'll say. 2 hours minimum. It may be 3. I mean, I could... It depends, though. It depends. Maybe 2 to 3 hours. It depends, you know, because I could have a lot of fun. I could even go 4. I might even stay up all night. It's very possible. But also, I get tired around 10, so... Right? You know? So I don't want to stay up too late. Tomorrow, though, is Saturday, and so the protest we do earlier in the day. And so I'll start it much earlier yesterday. Thatcher Doom will be taking place in October. I don't know when, though. Playing Silent Hill 4 on shrooms would be crazy. Maybe. Maybe. Alright, folks. Let's get into some actual news. Let me cue this up. You're gonna love it.
Honestly, Sam, if I could just get this sentence out, we can talk about Jimmy Dore can go and kill 15 kids tomorrow, and I still believe in force the vote.
So Breonna Joy Gray is back at it, folks. So for those of you that don't know, Bernie Sanders in the Senate and the House Progressives and the House of Representatives are going to hold the line, and they are going to vote against the stupid-ass bullshit nonsense that moderate, quote-unquote, also known as conservative right-wing neo-fascists Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema are trying to destroy the Joe Biden Build Back Better agenda. They're going to try to do their best and use their leverage as a group and as a voting bloc to make sure that the bill does not pass the House. So, how did we get to this point? Well, a lot of people think that they should have been forcing votes all day, every day. I think those people are very stupid. We got to this point, in my opinion, because of months of negotiating and months of power building, right? The original strategy that forced the vote, again, a conspiracy theory network that Brianna Joy Gray helped promulgate, was about 9 progressives in the House. Now we've got the entire progressive caucus, or at least half of them, in support of this strategy, right? Which gives you even more power and even more leverage. And it's at an actual very important moment in congressional legislation where we can maybe hold the line here and get some actual good shit instead of letting corporate Democrats destroy everything and steamroll us, right? So now again, you can make the argument that progressives should have been doing this the whole time. It's a strategy. But Brianna Joy Gray here is really, like, I'm glad this happened. It's worth noting it could have happened in January. No, it couldn't have. How could it have happened in January? How could they have negotiated for months, got the president on board, and did media bashing of Manchin and Sinema for months and months and months ahead of this? How could that have happened in January? What? It doesn't make any sense. But what Brianna Joy Gray, again, is referring to here is the force the vote conspiracy. That AOC, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, and a couple of others could have potentially gotten us Medicare for All by forcing a vote. That could not have happened. They would have not had the leverage to do so, and the vote would have gotten epic failed. It would have gotten steamrolled, and then it would be nonstop media coverage about how stupid they look. Right? Instead, what they did was they played the longer game. Now, again, you can disagree with that. I think another good opportunity for them to have done this would have been on the $15 minimum wage. They chose not to. I disagree with that. I think the $15 minimum wage would have been a very good time to exercise this power. But either way, they decided to bide their time a little bit more, and now it's looking like we might have something pretty decent on our hands. But the blame is going to be placed on Manchin and Sinema. The media right now is somehow in favor of the progressives. Now, there's a lot of media figures that are attacking AOC, Pramila Jayapal, and Bernie Sanders, but really it seems like the bulk of the narrative here is focusing on Manchin and Sinema's corruption, right? There's been a lot of news stories about how their families are profiting from this, about how they directly are being funded by this. Sinema had a meeting with big corporations, drug companies, fossil fuel companies earlier this week, right? So the media is actually digging at them. Right now, we're winning the media war right now, but people like Brianna Joy Gray are still trying to build their brand off of this garbage. And again, I can't help but talk about how silly it is. Like like you have Joe Scarborough, however you pronounce his name, on MSNBC talking about taxing the rich, like, sapping their money, taxing capital. Like he's using the term capital. Like, that's crazy shit. And so now I don't want to say that the squad is doing 7D chess and this is all part of the plan. It's possible that, they just kind of randomly fumbled into this. It's very possible. But also, it's also very possible we're going to get fucked either way. And so I'm glad that we at least have a chance at forcing a vote rather than have no chance. Because the force to vote for Medicare for All conspiracy theory was based on having no chance. It was based on showing how much of a loser we are. Now, again, there can be upsides to that. Maybe before an election. That would have been a better time. Like, let's say right before the midterm election, you force the vote on Medicare for All, and then they all vote it down, and then they all, people get pissed off, and then you use that for the next 2 months. But right after an election would have been stupid. People would have forgotten about it by 2022. Right now, it seems like progressives are saving Biden's agenda, and moderates, quote unquote, right-wing neo-fascist Democrats are the ones losing bigly. And that's good. And we're closer to the midterms now. And if they keep pounding on this and have a similar situation happen next year, who knows how the midterms could look? So I want to talk about dumb fuck motherfuckers here. What do we do with dumb fuck motherfuckers in this chat? Does anyone know what we do with dumb fuck motherfuckers in this chat? By the way, folks, it looks like the Mupper is in fact happening at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So tune the motherfuck in. 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Or Daylight Time, whatever it is. Muppet Monster Adventure. Let me read the back of the box. Frighteningly good fun. Help Kermit's nephew, Robin, save the Muppets. That's right, folks. Bullet points. Officially licensed Muppet product. That's good. 6 3D worlds to explore with 18 action-packed levels. Robin can morph into 5 cool creatures, which enable him to glide, climb, swim, smash, and push-pull his way out of trouble. Gameplay features fun puzzles and challenges. Outwit the 6 Monstroids. That's what it says, Monstroids. Monstrous Muppet bosses and change them back to their lovable selves. The Muppets appear in their first adventure game for the PlayStation game console, folks. Muppet Monster Adventure. Let's read the manual. What do we got in here? Look at this. Look at this. We got some game art. Look at that. You can check this out. 7:30 p.m. Is it rated E for everyone? It is rated E for everyone. That's good. You follow the Muppet History Twitter account? I love the Muppet History Twitter account. One of my favorite users. Maybe I should try to get them on the show. Alright, folks. So we got some dumb fuck motherfuckers going on. There's a lot of dumb fuck motherfuckers in New York. And they're staging these anti-vaccine protests. And they're going into vaccinated-only restaurants and businesses and basically doing this. And screaming, this is a phenomenon that started a couple of days ago, if not a week ago, and I covered it. And so we have a video thread here. Let's watch.
We're not leaving. 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 We're not leaving.
This is real. This isn't like you're watching like a Paranormal Activity movie, right? And like no, this is real. These are human beings. What? What? There's more.
I know. But for us, you know, when we get...
Notice how the cops don't have masks on? Because New York Police Department does not follow the law. They are not law enforcement. They are a gang, a criminal syndicate, but go on.
We have to respond.
No, you're responding, and you're responding appropriately.
Yeah, I
But
can't.
this is against
I know, but in no way can I ever, you know, force them to serve me. In no way, that I can never do that. You know what I mean? And I understand your position. I completely do. I'm not allowed to do a position vocally, obviously, when I'm in New York. But I'm going to talk to them, see how they want to proceed here, and I'll tell you the truth. They're most likely going to ask me to ask you to leave, which is within their right. And then hopefully, like respectfully, I would come and ask you guys, you know, nicely. To
So I would like to compare this to last summer. Have you ever seen a New York Police Department officer react like this to Black Lives Matter protesters? Nope. Have you ever seen them act like this to, I don't know, Occupy Wall Street? Nope. Have you seen them act like, remember when they did this giant riot circle at the, like, it was Central Park or something? And they wouldn't let anyone go to Central Park? And then they, like, beat the shit out of people for just trying to go to the park? Remember that? But when it comes to unvaccinated, loser, unwashed, non-hygienic conspiracy theorist moron cult members, they're chilling. They're chilling. When it comes to Black Lives Matter protesters, they drive through crowds. Try to kill people. When it comes to this, you see this guy in the background doing the great strat. Why do cops do this? Does anyone know? What is this? Why they all seem... I am a police officer! Like, what is this? Like, is it like they're doing like a chicken thing? Are they like doing a dance? Like, what are they like? What is this? Like, hi! Oh, sorry, I can't wave. I'm doing this. Like, I don't... It's ridiculous. But let's continue.
Excuse me. You're together?
Yeah, all of us.
Yeah, I'm gonna need... Can you wait for me because I need to check... you're gonna have a table for dinner?
Yeah. What is it that you need to check?
The vaccine. And an ID.
Why?
That's the city.
It's a mandate, it's not the law.
Check the sign in front.
Yeah, but it's
I love that. It's a mandate, it's not a law. What is that conspiracy theory? A mandate is a mandate. A law is passed by Congress. A mandate is executive action through a certain state of emergency, right? Like, for example, you can mandate that stores, do certain things during certain times of crisis. Like, you could mandate during a hurricane that stores and grocery stores have to provide free water. That you could mandate that. That's possible, right? But a mandate, you still have to follow. It's an order. It's an executive order. So it is as valid as a law. It's just not permanent. A law is permanent until it's changed. A mandate is typically temporary. It's a mandate. It's not a law. What? These people are fucking stupid. They're dumb as hell. Now,
Wednesday night shouldn't be a civil right. Dinner on a Wednesday night shouldn't be a civil right. Dinner on a Wednesday night shouldn't be a civil right.
They literally think that they are being discriminated against like they're in Jim Crow southern United States. They literally think that. They literally think that.
Because I want to be honest with them. Being honest by discriminating.
You really wouldn't feed us. We're like hungry and we want to
sit outside. Absolutely.
No, we'd like to sit inside.
You wouldn't feed us if we're hungry. I wonder what these protesters think about homeless people.
Are you gonna put us outside?
Right. December's gonna be cold. And if you're not gonna have these little, we're not
If you want to do it, maybe in a second. We're
not leaving without eating.
No, I don't feel like doing it.
And look at
So
this,
you're just gonna kick us
right? The cops again siding with them.
Not want you here because of their policies.
Different cops
But there's
agreeing with
as far as I
them.
know, no crime has been committed. I'm not placing anyone under arrest. I'm not issuing anyone summons because as right now, there's no criminal law. Right now, it's just the restaurant does not want you here. So on behalf of the restaurant, I have to ask you to leave. You know, that's the extent I can do.
What would happen if we did? Would we get arrested?
I mean, technically, it would be criminal trespass, but I would like
but
to.
Isn't it a public accommodation?
I would like to not go that route for something.
These dumb motherfuckers. Like, would I be breaking the law if we went in there after they told us to leave and called cops? Yeah, it would be. Now, again, I don't care about the law, right? If this were under an actual, like, if they were protesting actual civil rights, if this were like the 1950s and 60s, break that motherfucking law all damn day. I'll break it with you, right? But this is because they feel like they have a right to kill as many people as they want with a viral disease. That's not the same as black people not being allowed in restaurants. I'm sorry. You are not a civil rights icon of the modern day. You are a goddamn dumbass. So anyway, there's, you can watch more of this on Twitter or YouTube. But, Lord have motherfucking mercy. These people, not... Well, in fact, you know what? Let me tell you what I think about these people. These wonderful, wonderful people. Many people.
Only the really... I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
But let's look at some good news. In Texas, a school decided to do an impromptu protest in support of trans people after a trans woman in school was not allowed in the bathroom or in the locker room, whatever it is. So we have a couple videos here in this thread, and I want to play them for you. Pretty good. They all basically walked out. They held flags. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. And this is in Texas, of course, the state that is now saying if you are trans under the age of 18, you have to leave your parents. Your parents go to jail for child abuse. If you are under the age of 18 and you are trans. This is awesome. I love seeing this kind of stuff, and shout outs to all these students. That's some really good stuff. Walking out of school, I mean, I left school. I dropped out. So, I mean, you know, I walked out in my own way. But walking out of school, fuck that school. They're probably teaching you some stupid shit, especially in Texas. I'm anti-school, folks. I'm one of those people. I'm an anti-school anarchist. Sorry. All right, so we got Marjorie Taylor Greene on some dumb shit. Might as well make a video.
With me. Here's what I need all of you to do. I need you to get on board with me. I've already told almost every single Republican in the GOP conference in the House that I will primary them and personally spend money against them in their primary if they vote for the infrastructure bill or the $3.5 trillion budget. And the reason why is we have, unfortunately, weak Republicans in the House that see this infrastructure bill is like it's a big temptation for them because they think they can go home and tell the people in their moderate districts that they worked across the aisle with bipartisanship and passed infrastructure. But that is not what this is. Here's what I...
So, the reason why this is so funny is because this is great for the House progressives. Now, if the House progressives have more power if the Republicans are the opposition party and vote as an entire bloc against all of this infrastructure stuff, right? It's possible, theoretically, if all of the progressives withhold their votes, that same amount plus one on the Republican, or plus whatever, on the Republican side would actually pass the legislation. So this actually gives AOC and the squad even more power, what Marjorie Taylor Greene is advocating for. So this is pretty damn funny. I've got to be honest with you. And I would love to see her personally. But I'm going to be honest. We need a Marjorie Taylor Greene on the left. I mean, I don't care if they would just be one person who just goes in there to do this kind of stuff. But we need people out there that are willing to just say, yeah, you know what? Y'all are stupid. You're dumb. You're dumb. You're dumb. I'm going to ruin your life. I've got 100 million subscribers on YouTube. I'm going to destroy your life. I'm going to make you lose. I'm going to make you lose. Now, again, I think that the squad playing their tactics, I think is so far, right now, pretty good. But I do love the idea of someone who's just in there to go yep, you're stupid, I think you're a bitch, I'm going to primary you, I'm going to move to your district and take your seat next year. I think that that's a good idea. But either way, Marjorie Taylor Greene is right now helping the squad. Could you imagine? Hell yes. But she's just so stupid. I mean, really, she's so stupid. She actually thinks that that's the right thing to do. I mean, Jesus. But that's because she is not bought out by fossil fuel companies. She is not bought out by drug companies. She's just stupid. That's the thing, is that most of the Republicans are bought out. She's just a dumbass. She's just dumb as fuck. So she just doesn't want to have any Democrat have anything good at all. even if it means helping your donors, because she doesn't have donors that are in those organizations. She's just grassroots funded stupid. And a lot of that funding is from these companies, shadow money wise. But again, she's that culture war candidate. So that's the thing. But either way, pretty funny stuff. Catherine, I'm just saying in a fantasy world that would be nice. I don't recommend any of the squad actually do that though. She isn't going to move anywhere. Oh, I know. It's still funny. Yeah, the cringe tour with Matt Gaetz. Whatever happened to that? Greetings from Amsterdam. Hello, hello. Folks, yeah, Kavanaugh got COVID. I was going to talk about it, but honestly, I'm going to talk about this instead. Because it's really, really, really funny. Oh man, this is so good. Folks, this is so good. Folks, okay, alright. So, the Fred Hampton Leftist Podcast Network is going through a little bit of a drama phase. And so, Compton J, who is the guy that advocates for general strikes all the time, but doesn't want to actually build one, because why would you want to build one when you can just make videos on YouTube? But he got kicked off of the Fred Hampton Leftist Network, right? And here's how the vote went. So I don't know half of these people, but 4 of them voted him out, and 1 of them voted present. Unholy Rome, the guy who threatens to kill people on Twitter all the time, voted present. What are you, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez? Cringe. I love this. But now their fan base is eating itself alive. So we have this good screenshot. Really disappointed that Rome essentially voted present. FHL is just another corporate talking head board siphoning donations from us poors. It's over. The Fred Hampton Leftist Network is done. So here's the original thread here. I've been voted off of FHL. Wait until you hear the lies in particular from blah, blah, blah. It's 1, because I simulcast my show to the populist voice, which is his... I love that, to the populist voice, instead of just saying to my channel. Your channel's called the... That would be like, yeah, I just, I siphon my shows off on Above It All. Like, that's the name of my podcast. Right, okay. Because the panel members on the New Left podcast mistakenly called themselves FHL members. I don't even know what that means. Because I started the General Strike Summit on my own. The General Strike Summit, by the way, which is a month after the General Strike. So they're going to work to build a general strike after the general strike? It really makes no sense. These people are so goddamn stupid. It's great. But here's the official statement. Let's read. As of September 30th, 2021, Compton J is no longer a member of the Fred Hampton Leftist Network. This decision was not made lightly and was carried by a 7-2. By a vote 7-2. 2 votes outstanding. They voted present. What are they, AOC? The reason for this... Max, settle the fuck down. The reason for this decision is made because Jay made unilateral decisions on behalf of the group without the group's approval. FHL is a democratic organization. All of our decisions are made through the democratic process. Though it did not work out with us, we wish Compton Jay the best with all of his future endeavors. So they lost all of their credibility, folks. They're done? They're done. It's done? If this is how Fred Hampton would have... Oh my god. It's done, folks. It's done. Like, their own supporters are calling them MSNBC. I'll be canceling my Patreon subscription. It's over. Like, it's over. Right? Like, the Fred Hampton Leftist Network had the best run. The best possible run. They voted present. Right? They kicked off their own person for trying to do a little bit of organizing. And that's the thing, is Compton Jay decided to do a little bit of organizing, online organizing in his podcast network, but organizing nonetheless, a little bit. And they kicked him off. You can't organize. You're not allowed. What? Why can't I organize? The whole thing is ridiculous, but it's one of those situations where like all sides are stupid and it's just kind of fun to laugh at. So, rip the Fred Hampton Leftist Network. I'm going to love to see how they try to wheel their way out of this one, but they're losing almost all of their supporters, and it looks like Compton Jay is going to come out of this one with a huge W. So shout outs to him. I mean, he joined a network, leached off of them, destroyed it, and is now going to be looking the best in the whole situation, right? Like, I don't know, man. That's pretty good. So shout outs to Compton Jay. I think he says a lot of really stupid shit, and I've made some videos about how stupid he is. That being said, he did a pretty genius 7D chess move here, so all is forgiven for this content. Thank you, man. Lord have motherfucking mercy. This is why I do a show by myself, folks. Like, everyone's wondering, right? Like, why does Andrea do the show by herself? Why doesn't she have a co-host? This is why. I tried a show with a co-host last year. It's called God Damn It. They disappeared off the face of the planet. I don't know, to my understanding, my co-host got a job? Right? Can you imagine? So, I don't do co-hosting. Fuck that shit. Plus, I'm funnier by myself, let's be honest. Folks, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. 8 hours. Is it 8 or 9 hours? 8 hours. 8 hours. 8 hours from right now? Muppet Monster Adventure for the Sony PlayStation Entertainment Gaming Console will be played. So let's... Playing the game. To the left of the lake, Robin can walk up the hill to discover 2 hidden locations. Can't wait to see those hidden locations. Muppet Pickups. Extra life. Yellow extra lives are found throughout the game, giving Robin an extra life. Use your spin attack or shoot the jar to get the pickup inside. Folks, look at these bosses. The Cur Monster. Ghoul Friend. You're going to see all this and more tonight at 7:30 Eastern Time. With the Spook 5 Killar. The Spook 5 Killar, folks. That's the show. Maxie. Let's get him over here. Come on, Max. Look at this dog. Oh, he's stretching. He's got to get ready for his appearance. Hello. You want to get over here? Oh, he's getting... Oh, hi. You want to say hello to the stream? You want to say hi? Say hello. Someone take a screenshot. All right, so this is the dog. And that's the show. Thank you all for watching. And thank you all for watching. That's it. That's all I got.
You haven't. You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier. You said you lying dog-faced pony soldier. You said you were. You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier. Lying dog-faced pony soldier. You said you.
$7 million for reef fish management. $25 million to combat Asian carp. $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico.
They felt pretty comfortable after day 2.
Oh, seriously, hot sauce. I've been eating a lot of hot sauce, a lot of raw peppers and hot sauce. Oh, seriously, hot sauce. I've been eating a lot of hot sauce, a lot of raw peppers and hot sauce. Oh, seriously, hot.
In case you don't know, and you haven't seen the latest polls, the American people hold the President of the United States in contempt. They hold this institution in contempt. They hold the Republican Party in contempt. They hold the Democratic Party in contempt.
I don't wear masks like him. Every time you see him, he's got a mask. He could be speaking 200 feet away from me, and he shows up with the biggest mask I've ever seen.